Movies that are banned is a topic that's a bit blown out of proportion at times, at least in the US. Because as far as I can see, I don't think there's a film that's currently banned in the United States. Now, other countries, it's a very different story. Some have lifted bans, others have not. And the titles on everyone's blacklists vary, to say the least. For example, what movies do you think that Cuba has banned? Serbian film, Antichrist, maybe like Salo or 50 Shades of Grey. No, try GoldenEye and Harold and Kumar. I don't know which one's worse. The somewhat common theme seems to be countries banning movies that don't make their country and/or their people look favorable. Or maybe it's a movie that's just kind of poking at a sore spot in that country's history. Whether it be through a documentary with hard-hitting journalism, or just some schlock that just happened to reference them. Not to keep picking on Cuba, but they have banned the movies Cuba Crossing, Red Zone Cuba, and Cuban Love, which is like the equivalent of looking up your own name on Twitter and then getting upset at what you looked up. I kid. In fairness to Cuba, Red Zone Cuba and Cuba Crossing are both movies that heavily reference the Bay of Pigs invasion, attempting to overthrow Fidel Castro. Like, Cuba Crossing's plot is literally people just trying to kill Castro. So, I get it, guys. I do. Cuban Love is a Dutch rom-com, and that movie was banned due to its negative portrayal of Cubans. Which, fair enough. Let's find a country that bans something more along the lines of what we would assume. Okay, so the country Reagan banned The Exorcist in 1990. Oh, sorry, I don't think I pronounced that right. I think it's pronounced Raycon? I'm sorry.
Sponsored by the logo you just saw. I'll keep it short like a mower or buzzsaw. Raycon start at half the price of other premium audio brands. Battery last, you'll actually gasp while they keep on running like cardio fans. Over 50,000 5-star reviews, gotta give that a hand like a 5-star in school. Water sweat resistant while I play pool. Custom gel tips, sweet as maple. Different sound profiles enabled. Got a great deal on the table. Raycon is able to do that, so ready to buy something small with a big impact? Well, click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/MistaGG to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. That is buyraycon.com/MistaGG. And thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring this video.
Ireland. They banned the movie I Spit on Your Grave. And if you've never seen I Spit on Your Grave, it's a rape and revenge film where a woman gets raped a lot. Some scathing critics might say, too much? The rape has more screen time than Seagal does in his own movies. Like, pretend you're watching the movie. Once the raping begins, you could go throw some pizza rolls in the air fryer. They'll cool off before all of the raping is done. Yeah. It's a cult classic though, you gotta watch it. But like, that ban makes sense, right? Ireland just doesn't fancy that type of film. Understandable, have a great day. Can anybody in the audience guess what movie Kazakhstan might have banned for one reason or another? That's right. Lightyear. Let's look at some of the titles that the US banned at one point or another, and let's see why. One of the names on that list is a movie I recently reviewed that's Cannibal Holocaust. You can go watch that video to see why. By the way, most of these bans occurred prior to the 1990s, and you'll notice that with a lot of the reasoning for the bans as well. For example, the movie Bicycle Thieves was banned all over the United States in 1950 due to the use of urination from a little boy and disturbing culture, including scenes from inside of a bordello. Okay, I think we got a fair case here. Little boy going pee-pees? Not in my AMC. So this topic isn't exactly gonna make me want to dive into research, but I found a version of the movie Bicycle Thieves on YouTube and I skimmed it little by little. And I found the scene. And get this, I can just show you the scene. A boy has to go pee, pulls up to a wall, and you just see him acting as if he's undoing his shorts to urinate, which he doesn't do, and the scene continues. It's supposed to be a little joke because the man's in a hurry, and the kid's interrupting that. And just in case I happen to be watching an already censored version on YouTube, because YouTube, I bought the fucking movie. Went back to that same spot. It's the same exact scene. I also wanted to see the exact newspaper clipping of the ban, so I purchased a newspaper archive subscription, and the wording is even funnier. So the Motion Picture Association of America objected to two scenes in that movie: the interior shots in a bordello bordello, and the little boy Bruno making his toilet against a wall. He doesn't even pee. Unless he does this again somewhere in the movie and just lets it rip and I just missed it. But if not, thank God Adam Sandler wasn't making movies in the 50s. If they saw Big Daddy, they would have given him the chair. Also, the shots inside of a bordello, that's a brothel. Which when I realized that, I thought, oh, that makes more sense. Then I saw the scene. And without the light context given in this movie, is this not just a dining room with a couple of gals? And I haven't mentioned this till now. This Italian movie, Bicycle Thieves, is regarded as one of the best movies of all time. And we banned that shit because we're American, baby. Yeah, this thing is pretty good. Foreign? Israel actually has an interesting banned story under their belt. They actually banned a James Bond movie, Goldfinger, in 1965. Now, was it for the violence? Because apparently James Bond kills people in between fucking women. Well, it actually wasn't for the violence. It wasn't even for the sexing of women. You see, there's a scene in the movie where Bond and Goldfinger are playing a round of golf. Now, I know, we're off to a horrible start already. But the wager for their round of golf is a bar of recovered Nazi gold. Which, here's a little life hack, if you ever happen to end up with Nazi gold in your possession, you should stop using that adjective immediately. But that's where our issue lies. Israel, not a big fan of Nazis, which is weird. I like parties. So, yes, they banned the movie because the actor who played Goldfinger used to be a Nazi. Yeah, it didn't have shit to do with gold. I am no longer talking about movie lore. The actor who played Goldfinger, the name of the movie, used to be in the Nazi party. And Israel discovered this through his own admission. He just said it in an interview. So your director, Guy Hamilton, had actually turned down an offer to direct the first James Bond film made. So with Goldfinger, did you notice Hamilton taking a different approach with this Bond film? I wouldn't say so. I think he stayed true to the series, and I did join the Nazi party when I was 16. I'm sorry? Like he absolutely kept the same tone as the first part, in my opinion. No, the other thing you said. Did I mention an upcoming project, or? You said you were a Nazi? What? Why would I say that? I don't know. That's what you said. How stupid would I be to say that? You like 100% said you joined the Nazi party when you were 16. That's stupid, guys. Is this camera on me? This is actually just a written interview. That's stupid. Use your common sense. That's what you said. Okay, yeah, I was. So Israel catches wind of the interview, and the film censorship board immediately calls for the film to be nuked. And don't get it twisted, Goldfinger was a big movie. Israeli people had been flooding the theaters to go watch Bond in action. But the problem was that the Israeli government had an old ruling in place forbidding films in which former Nazis took part. And the story gets better. Gert Frobe, the actor who played Goldfinger, had just done another movie, Is Paris Burning?, where he played a Nazi general, General Dietrich von Choltitz. That movie was also banned in Israel. But lo and behold, just 2 months later, those bans would be lifted and Goldfinger would once again be available for viewing to the public. So, what happened? Now, there are somewhat conflicting reports past this point, but this is what I got. In that same initial interview, Frobe had apparently claimed that he helped a Jewish woman during the war. I'm assuming he just threw that in there to help balance the bomb he dropped. And past that point, the film censorship board had apparently received evidence that Frobe left the Nazi party in 1937 after joining in 1929. This being 2 years before Poland was invaded. Also, apparently a Jewish man told the Israeli embassy that Frobe had helped him and his mother during the war. Which makes sense on paper, but it just confuses me because it's why? Did he see him in the press being framed as this bad guy and he was like, oh no, I gotta clear his name? Or was he just man, I really want to watch Goldfinger? There's also reports of Frobe's story of helping a Jewish woman being proven hiding her, but I don't know if that's just the same woman from the man that approached the embassy. And there's also reports that Frobe apparently only became a Nazi as punishment for distributing anti-Nazi pamphlets. Even though there's also reports that he said he joined because he thought Hitler could improve the economy. I don't know. I wasn't there, which is what fucking Frobe should have said before all this. but I digress. All the reports contributed to the board lifting the ban. It also probably mattered that there was apparently multiple producers appealing the ban, and also I think the public just wanted to watch it. Just let us watch the damn movie. So the ban was lifted, and they also stopped banning all German-made films in 1967, shortly after that. Probably because no matter what way you wanted to slice it, for decades to come, people participating in German-produced media probably may or may not have participated in other things. Kind of inevitable. Also, this has nothing to do with everything I just said. It's kind of funny reading the Wikipedia blurb for Goldfinger as to why they casted Frobe. Quote, Frobe was cast because the producers saw his performance as a child molester in the German film It Happened in Broad Daylight, unquote.
Have you seen one of our computer predator shows before? This is one of them. We're doing stories on adults who try to meet teens on the internet.
This guy's good. I just thought that was an interesting story from Israel. They also banned Shrek 2 in 2004. Now, if you browse through this list, you'll start to notice a lot of usual suspects. The Da Vinci Code was blasphemous. Get that shit out of here. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, way too violent. We won't stand for it. 50 Shades of Grey, this is making my dick way too hard. Cut it out. Also, I don't think I need to go into so much detail at how many countries have banned a movie because the 9th most important character is a gay. There's a lot of those on this list. Like a lot. And listen, I get it, guys. As a great man once said, this is making my dick way too hard. I also wanted to give out an award to the country with the best ban list. And although I think North Korea automatically wins with the roster of all foreign films, I mean, their ban list has The Godfather, Star Wars, probably this. I'm gonna give the award to Myanmar for banning, and I don't know how fucking true this is, but Myanmar banned the movies Rambo and the Simpsons movie. Congratulations. You make weird decisions. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe. Trying to hit 1 million subs in 2023. If you guys want me to do more of this, I can take a look. There's more titles to be explored. Here are my beautiful, lovely patrons chilling over here. The new merch is dropped. It's permanent merch. It will always be there. Take a look. Got more fire stuff coming down the road as well. And as always, I am Mr. Gigi, and I am out.